How to keep garlic fresh, prevent mold, sprouting, and spoilage. Hello, welcome to the Clever Tricks channel. Have you ever bought fresh garlic only to find it sprouting, drying out, or even getting moldy after just a few days? What a waste, right? Garlic is not only a familiar spice that makes dishes more flavorful and delicious, but it also has the ability to remove the fishy smell of meat and fish, highlighting the natural flavor of stir-fried, grilled, braised, or soup dishes. Today, I'm going to share some incredibly simple tips to keep your garlic fresh, fragrant, and firm like the day you bought it, and to store it for up to a year. The best part is you don't need any complicated tools or hard-to-find ingredients. Anyone can do it at home. I have created subtitles in multiple languages. Please select your preferred language. Comment below and let me know which country you are watching from. It's amazing that we can connect from all around the world. Let's get started. Method 1. Preserving garlic using baking soda. If you want to keep garlic fresh for longer without refrigeration, the baking soda trick is a great option to try. Baking soda has mild moisture-absorbing properties and is a natural antibacterial agent, helping to keep garlic dry and prevent mold, especially during humid seasons or climates with high humidity. Preparing dried garlic. Choose firm cloves with tightly packed, undamaged skins. Remove the dry outer layer of skin. Do not wash with water. Ensure the garlic is completely dry before storing. Place 1 to 2 tablespoons of baking soda at the bottom of the jar. You can add a few grains of salt to enhance its antibacterial properties. Place a layer of garlic on top. Then sprinkle some baking soda. Continue alternating in this way until the jar is full. Close the lid tightly and store in a cool, dry place, away from direct sunlight. After 1 to 2 months, you can replace the baking soda layer to maintain optimal moisture absorption. Note, if the weather is humid, open the jar lid for 1 to 2 hours each month to allow the garlic to breathe and dry naturally. I find this to be the simplest, most natural, and cleanest method among dry preservation techniques. After a few months, the garlic remained white, fragrant, and showed no sprouts or blackening. What I liked was that it didn't need refrigeration, just an airtight jar and some baking soda were enough. Method 2. Preserving garlic using sand. Did you know that garlic can also hibernate in sand, just like ginger, potatoes, or carrots? I used to think that garlic would just dry out or sprout if left for too long. Surprisingly, with just a little dry sand, you can keep garlic dry, fragrant, and free from mold and sprouts for months. The method is very simple. Keep the garlic peel on, just wipe off the dust, do not wash with water. Prepare a cardboard box, plastic box, styrofoam container, or ceramic jar with a lid. Spread a layer of clean, dry sand at the bottom. Place the garlic on top. Then cover it with another layer of sand. The top layer must be sand that completely covers the garlic. Close the lid and store in a dry, well-ventilated place. No refrigerator, no fancy technology needed. That's all. Garlic can be kept for 3 to 6 months without wilting, molding, or sprouting. It's a very simple tip, but once you know it, you'll want to apply it right away. Method 3. Preserving garlic with charcoal. A good tip to prevent mold and sprouting is to use charcoal. Prepare dry charcoal. Wrap it in a thin cloth or use a medical mask. Cut off the top part to create a slit. Where are you from? It's such a joy that we're connecting from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for your support. Tie it tightly. Place the bag of charcoal together with the bag of garlic. Store in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. The charcoal will absorb the surrounding moisture, creating a dry environment that helps keep the garlic fragrant and prevents it from sprouting for a long time. Method 4. Wrap in paper towels and refrigerate. Keep the garlic cloves whole, wipe the outside clean, do not wash with water. Wrap each bulb individually in clean paper towels to absorb moisture. Then put it in a Ziploc bag or airtight container. Place it in the refrigerator. This method helps keep garlic fresh and fragrant for 2 to 3 months. Method 5. A simple yet effective way to preserve garlic that few people notice is to use old plastic bottles, cutting off the necks, to store the garlic. This method keeps the garlic tidy, reduces moisture, and helps it last longer in the refrigerator. First, prepare a clean, washed, and dried plastic bottle, such as an empty water bottle or soda bottle. The garlic used for preservation should be dry, whole cloves, free from damage or moisture. Next, use scissors or a knife to cut open the neck of the bottle, creating a wide opening for easy insertion of the garlic. Gently place the garlic cloves inside the bottle. The garlic will be kept neatly organized, preventing it from spilling and limiting its exposure to humid air. After adding the garlic, use the lid to seal the bottle tightly. You can wrap tape around the cut area to prevent the garlic smell from spreading in the refrigerator and also to limit moisture from entering. Finally, place this bottle of garlic in the refrigerator's crisper drawer. Thanks to the cooler, drier environment, the garlic will stay dry, be less likely to sprout, and can be stored longer than if it were left outside. A helpful tip is to occasionally open the bottle cap for a few minutes to allow the garlic to air out, then close it and put it back in the refrigerator as before. This simple method not only helps the garlic last longer, but also keeps your kitchen tidy and clean. Storing garlic in plastic bottles is a convenient method because it utilizes old bottles, is easy to do, and is suitable for most households. If the bottles are kept dry and the garlic is initially dry enough, it can be stored for quite a long time while retaining its aroma and firm cloves. Method 6. Preserving minced garlic with plastic wrap is a very convenient little trick in the kitchen. If you already have peeled garlic, chop it finely for convenient use whenever you cook. Simply use a knife to mince the garlic cloves. After mincing the garlic, put it in a clean bowl. Add about 3 tablespoons of cooking oil and 1 teaspoon of salt. Then mix well so that the garlic is lightly coated in oil and salt. This method makes the garlic more fragrant and helps preserve it for longer. Please prepare a clean piece of plastic wrap. Lay the plastic wrap flat on a table or cutting board. Next, place the minced garlic in the center of the plastic wrap and spread it gently. Next, gently fold the edges of the plastic wrap and tightly wrap the garlic inside. You should press lightly to push out the air before wrapping it tightly. This helps to minimize the garlic's exposure to air, thus preserving its aroma and preventing discoloration. After wrapping, you can place the package of garlic in an airtight container or Ziploc bag. Then put it in the freezer. When needed, simply take out a small portion. The garlic will be very easy to separate thanks to the thin membrane that has been laid out beforehand. With this simple method, minced garlic can be stored for about 2 to 3 weeks while still retaining its aroma and quality quite well. This is a little trick that will save you a lot of time every time you cook. Method 7 is the simplest one, and I usually use it when I buy garlic in bulk. When garlic is in season, it's cheap, and I buy large quantities to store, so I need a well-ventilated storage method. If you also often store large quantities of garlic, then this tip is worth trying. First, I put the whole garlic cloves into a small paper or cardboard box like this one. I do this because the cardboard box allows for good air circulation. The garlic inside won't get damp or stuffy, so it spoils much slower. Just a little moisture can cause garlic to sprout or soften very quickly. Therefore, for me, keeping the garlic dry from the start is the most important thing. Next, I took a tissue. Add about 1 to 2 tablespoons of baking soda to the center. Then wrap it up neatly like this. It's such a joy that we're connecting from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for your support. I used a rubber band to tie it loosely, just enough so that the salt wouldn't spill out. Then I placed this packet of salt in a corner of the garlic box. At this point, the salt will absorb some of the moisture in the air, keeping the garlic dry and reducing the risk of mold. I really like this method because the salt is quite mild. It doesn't change the smell of the garlic and doesn't affect the flavor. With this arrangement, the garlic has a dry, airy, and stable environment. As a result, the garlic can be stored for longer while retaining its flavor as when it was first purchased. I store the whole box in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. What I find most interesting is that with just one very familiar kitchen ingredient, garlic can be preserved for 3 to 5 months. This method is really convenient, especially when you store large quantities of garlic or when your kitchen is quite airtight. You will always have garlic readily available without worrying about sprouting, mold, or losing its aroma. Method 8. But if you want garlic always ready to cook without having to peel or crush it every time you enter the kitchen, then you'll definitely like this next tip. I start with pre-peeled garlic cloves like this. Then put it in a food processor. I added 1 tablespoon of vinegar and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. This helps stabilize the garlic after grinding, limiting bacterial growth. At the same time, it also helps prevent the garlic from darkening and losing its aroma too quickly during storage. Next, I blend until the mixture thickens. It doesn't need to be blended too finely. Leaving it slightly lumpy will make the garlic more fragrant when cooked. After mincing the garlic, I divided it into 2 portions. I put 1 portion into ice cube trays like this, with each compartment just enough for 1 cooking session. When needed, I simply take out a cube and use it immediately without measuring or preparing anything extra. Then I put the tray back in the freezer. And that's it. This method helps me preserve garlic for about 6 to 12 months. I put the remaining garlic in a small glass jar. This portion can be used for about 2 to 4 weeks. The garlic stays fresh, is very convenient, and doesn't need to be thawed each time you use it. Note that you should leave about 1 centimeter of space below the rim of the jar like this. Then, I poured another layer of olive oil on top to prevent air from coming into direct contact with the garlic, especially to avoid the garlic darkening when the jar was opened. I use this jar of garlic in many different ways, like mixing it into salads, spreading it on toast, or adding it directly to stir fries. Every dish becomes more delicious this way. Just close the lid tightly and put it back in the refrigerator. Of these methods, which one do you find easiest to apply? Please leave a comment. I'd love to know your choice. If you find this helpful, don't forget to share it with family and friends. Sometimes a small tip can be very helpful to many people in their daily lives. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to support more helpful tips. That's what motivates me to keep sharing even more in future videos. Thank you for watching until the end. See you in the next video with more simple but extremely useful tips.